Assistant lets you build on top of virtually any existing system. Unlike legacy products, it doesn't rely on pre-built connectors or workflows for integrations. So let's look at an example with our MDM fleet. I've already connected the integration, so let's see if we can handle a related task. We've grown quickly here, and we have old devices that we never collected from our users when they upgraded. So let's have Assistant look at the data in fleet and see if it can help with this. So Assistant's actually going to look at the connected integrations and connected actions and try to see if it can automate this task. So what it sees here is that we have fleet connected, but we don't have an action that hooks into this API. So it's going to research the API and look for relevant API methods and then build us a bespoke action for this workflow. So now it's going to go ahead and build it, validate it, and make sure it works, and then hopefully run the workflow for us. Cool. So it pulled all this data. It finds that there's 87 devices that haven't checked in over a year, and we can see out of those that 27 are still assigned to an employee. It also gives us a highlight of some of the oldest devices here. So let's actually see if we can use Assistant to help facilitate the return of these devices back to the company. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and send a broadcast to these users, which is kind of like an automated way to schedule and send messages to a group of users and track if they've acknowledged it. So the Assistant's actually going to look up the users, and it pulls in data from across the system so that it knows their office location and then schedules a message for the appropriate time. You can see here that it asks them to drop it at their local office, or they can trigger another console automation to return it via a prepaid label. So the last thing I want to do is, our compliance program requires that every device has an owner assigned in the MDM. And I see here that there's a bunch of devices that were probably returned to the company and wiped, and so they now have no owner. So let's go ahead and have Assistant try to do this reassignment. Cool. So once again, console's going to look at what exists here. It sees that there are stale devices that it should reassign, and it's going to go ahead and build another connector here to do this bulk reassignment. So once again, it's researching the docs, and it sees that this is possible with the appropriate API and fleet. It's going to build us another action, and then now it's going to go find the IT service account in our user directory, and hopefully it'll put this all together to do the assignment. So you can see here the devices have now been reassigned in fleet to the IT service account, and we left the Zoom rooms unchanged. So this is a good example of how you can really quickly take care of complex tasks by letting console build out hooks on top of our catalog of hundreds and hundreds of integrations, even if there isn't a pre-built connector or something built bespoke for your workflow.